Hi, how you doing, guys? Welcome to the show. I promised that I was going to do a show, and this is the one. And today we've got Carl, we've got Kelkster. Sorry for the people on Twitter. I forgot to tag you guys on Twitter. But there's a lot to talk about. Um, it's not going to be a long show. It'll be short, but we've got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about Madrid, and we're going to talk about trophy hopes. Some people are saying we still have hopes to win trophies, and then we're going to talk about the West Ham game a bit. But welcome to the show. And anyway, we'll start with Kels. How do you feel after that Madrid game?
Honestly, this is going to sound really hyperbolic, but I think that game broke me. Maybe that's my own fault for, overlooking Real Madrid. But I just look at the manager of this team right now, and I look at that lineup, and I think what he did was subliminally really damaging to the squad. Pep showed a clear list of who his favorites are. It doesn't matter how well some of these players have been performing. They get benched. Our Omar Marmoush had a brace over the weekend and has generally looked very lively, and he gets benched for Haaland, who's done nothing lately. Rodri has struggled mightily in the midfield. I think a lot of that is tactics, but you see him in a couple of these games where he doesn't have Nico O'Reilly in there to be his legs. He struggles. So that to me is a slap in the face for Nico Gonzalez, who has performed. Nico Gonzalez carried us in the first half of the season. Well, okay, like he is the reason why we won it at the Bernabeu, or not the reason, but he's a big factor. Like we played some of our best ball with Nico G, and the fact that he's just been completely eliminated from the squad pretty much since Rodri came back, and the fact that the manager will refuse to play the two of them together, despite I think that's exactly what is needed, is just very damaging. Like Nico G, he's been great, and he just gets benched. Not even considered to play with Rodri. I'm sorry, a 20-minute cameo at the end of Spurs does not tell me that they can't play together. That doesn't close the case for me. Bernardo Silva, I think, has ever since he's moved into more of an attacking role, our attack has gone to shit. We're not scoring goals, so I don't get why he plays every game. Also, he's providing zero support for Rodri in the middle, and it's a big reason why in some of these games our midfield has been exposed. The two of them together in the year 2026 doesn't work. Bernardo's too old, and Rodri is coming back from a major injury that's had multiple setbacks. The only reason that we were scraping some results by afterwards is because Nico O'Reilly was the legs. So I think you have to have a Nico in the midfield. And also another thing about the attack is Ryan Cherky has the second most GNA on this team, and he can't get a start in a game. He's coming off the bench after Tijani Reinders, which makes no sense because Reinders, I think we can all agree, has been a bit underwhelming. I do agree with his positioning, but I mean, he's good getting in the box and stuff, but like there's no creativity. And when you're playing Bernardo Silva in an attacking role, you're benching Ryan Cherky, who's better suited to attack. And so I'm getting really frustrated. Mateus Nunes has been one of our best players this season, and he gets dropped so that Ruben Diaz could be in the lineup. I'm being told we can't play without Ruben Diaz because of all of his experience and his leadership. I didn't see any of that at Madrid, unfortunately. He's supposed to be leading the back line, and everybody in that back line looked bad except for him. I wouldn't even say he had that good of a game, but everyone's like, he was the least worst, which I guess is something you could mention, but I didn't see him going over to Mark Gahey and calming him down. It's very clear Mark Gahey was the biggest moment of his career, a Champions League game at the Bernabeu, and Gahey looked nervous. And I understand that. I forgive him for that. Like I can understand being overwhelmed in that situation, but I'm expecting Ruben Diaz, one of my captains, to go over there and calm him down and tell him to get in position, being like, why aren't you backing up Nico O'Reilly in that situation with the first Valverde goal? Obviously Donnarumma howler, but that's another story. I didn't see, there were 4 captains on that pitch, and Donnarumma and Gahey are both captains as well, or like for their club and former clubs and countries. I saw zero leadership on that pitch at all. Everybody looked scared. 4 captains on the pitch looked scared. Where was Bernardo Silva, the captain of this club and Pep's favorite? Where was he rallying anybody? Like, we just looked like a bunch of scared lemmings, and I'm very frustrated. I think Pep got it massively wrong, but I think not just for like the result aside, I just think that he just damaged the psyche of a lot of these players who do nothing but do well, and they just constantly get benched for players that Pep just can't let go of and refuses. He seems like he's refusing to see some of the issues that they're causing the team. And he just thinks it's good.
Yeah, but let me cut you there. Sorry for a minute.
Here, but
Do you
they're not.
think? But do you think it's players he can let go, or he just decided to do whatever he wants and just mess things up? Because have you seen his press? Obviously, you haven't seen it, girl. So I watched it. Do you remember when I said that I was talking to Carl and I told you this, girls? He never apologizes. Do you know how arrogant he is? They asked him that, why did you change the formula? Do you know what he says? He's like, can you answer me? And in a very rude way, can you answer me? How many times has O'Reilly played left back? How many times has O'Reilly played left back? That's what he said. Today, when they asked him again, he's like, can you answer me? How many times have I done this? How many times have I done that? I just feel like, Kels, it's not even about playing Bernardo Silva and Diaz, because Diaz played in the last game and we won. It's about structure. Why does he break it? And there's people on Twitter saying, oh, what do you mean keep it simple? The only time he kept it simple, he won the Champions League. The only fan base that will accept this from Pep is Man City. The Bayern fan base never accepted it, Kels. So, Kels, even to Gianni Reinders, people are sending us videos. You and me have been sent videos, being tagged, of him scoring Madrid when he was at AC Milan. He was playing as a number 10. He was picking the ball, going through the midfield. I don't know. I just feel like the manager, every time they tell him you're the favorite, he decides to do something genius. Somebody wrote a passage and said, so girls, somebody wrote a very nice paragraph on Twitter. He said, Pep Guardiola has got this syndrome where when he's the favorite, he wants to prove to the media that it's not the players who won the match. He wants to prove that I won the match by doing something smart. So, like, for instance, girls, why are you playing Kusanov right back? I'm sorry, that excuse of Vini is poor because Nunes pocketed Vini recently. So I don't know. I just feel like
also they countered that by playing Vini more centrally, so Kus wasn't there for him. And Kus struggled because he hasn't played in that position since, like, I think it was September against Arsenal. Nico O'Reilly hasn't played left back in a couple of months. And I get that, versatility is like something Pep values, but like, I think we realize that some of these, maybe Nico O'Reilly's 20 years old. I don't know if he has the wherewithal and the experience to just switch between positions that quickly. And he struggled at the Bernabeu defensively while playing a left back. I know that he won player of the match in that game, but remember, Rodrigo scored a goal. It was a very similar way. I think they've kind of figured out. I think it was just probably easy for them to see that when he's playing at left back, he always lets the ball bounce instead of just like grabbing it as first touch. And Valverde saw that, and he just, when the ball bounced, he just took it from him instead of and Nico was just like, he took the ball from me. I was supposed to get that ball. So I think there's just I think there's some naivete from Pep to just think he could seamlessly drop back into that role. Because like I said, again, he doesn't have, he's not used to switching positions every game. So, because he's so young, and maybe he's just not mentally ready for that yet. So that to me is just very frustrating. And again, playing Rodri alone is absolutely criminal. We've seen it, and we've seen it get roasted multiple times. We saw he couldn't do it at Bodo Glimt. He couldn't do it against Manchester United. So why would you bring that system back? It doesn't make sense. We've seen it fail and fail massively. And why would you put him in a solo midfield at the Bernabeu when you know that they have Valverde and Camavinga? Like, those are still, even though they're missing half the team, those are still really good. Or it's not Camavinga. Those are still good players.
I don't know. Why is Semenyo a 10? I swear to God.
That is the dumbest. The guy who has a horrible first touch, playing in the tight pockets, who can't create anything. Ryan Cherky is right there. Ryan Cherky has a great first touch, and he's creative.
I don't know.
What are you doing? Why is he just absolutely, he's abandoned Ryan Cherky lately. Ryan Cherky is not starting games right now. And I think Carl has a pretty interesting theory on that. We've talked about it in private chats. I want to hear Carl's explanation on why Cherky is
welcome, Carl. Welcome, Carl, and Adam.
I'll tell you why he's not playing Cherky. It's very simple. He can't control him. Because he knows that Cherky is going to be creative. He's going to take chances. He's going to take risks. And he doesn't like that. Facts. What he can do and control is Savinho. That's why Savinho plays. Let me,
Who
let
does
me,
nothing.
Kelly, listen. There is no place on earth. There's no way Savinho should be in this team. I'm sorry. He's just not at the level. There's just none. The evidence of that was hooking him at halftime. He was ineffective, offensively, defensively, in all aspects. And the excuse
Well,
that because he
Madrid didn't
the, and the
respect him at all.
and
They
the
just
and
left him
the
alone.
and
They're
the
like, we don't
excuse
rate you. We don't care. We're not scared of you. So we're just going to leave you by yourself. Nobody cares. So you're playing with 10 men because he was on an island by himself.
and the excuse that because he played well at Newcastle, it's just come on, we're not stupid, man. Come on, man. You're telling me that Savina's better than Shirky. You're telling me that? And let me say this right now, okay? There's no reason why Haaland should have started that game at Madrid because he's been poor. Marmoush with the energy, if you start Haaland against Newcastle FA Cup, we don't win that game. We don't win
Yeah,
that
his
game.
form. Also, I think a lot of these creativity issues that Pep is causing the service has dried up for Haaland. I realize Haaland can be doing more, but let's be frank. Haaland is a player who he's going to need
the
creativity
issue
on the pitch,
the issue
and
is
he's not going to do that work by
when you
himself all the
watch.
time.
Listen, if you're playing in transition, long ball, run to the goal, fine. But if you're trying to keep the ball, move the ball, you don't have De Bruyne or Shirky on the field. Who's going to supply the crosses for Erland's finish? Semenyo?
No.
Oh, I see. Savinho's going to do that. Oh, Savinho likes to check back on his left foot on the right wing and can't be the man 1v1. Really? Oh, let's say Nunes is the one who has the most assists on the right wing. Oh, he's not starting though. You put him out. You play Kusanov instead. So that flank, they would just whip the ball in from the right side, is not there. It's yeah, it's yeah. I mean, that game for me, I'm done. I'm just done. I just till today I cannot understand why. The secret sauce to that midfield is Nico O'Reilly. We need Nico and Shirky, or Nico, Rodri, and Shirky. Diaz cannot handle transitions from central pitch. That Kusanov is better next to somebody, whether it's Stones or whether it's Gehi or whether it's Diaz. That's what you need. I know it gives you the ability to overload on the left-hand side. How many times did we overload them on the left-hand side? None.
No,
You had
yeah, that
nobody.
was a problem. Yeah,
Yeah, you
and
had nobody.
that's what Doku needs an overlapper. Like that's kind of a liability with him.
You had
If Pep's
nobody
not going to
doing
play
that.
one, then Doku won't be effective because
Yeah,
they're triple teaming him. What was he supposed to do?
you had nobody overloaded him on that side.
Yeah,
So
Nori needed to be there to take the pressure off of
all
Doku.
all I would say is that this is symptomatic of what I saw in the summer of the Club World Cup against that team from Saudi Arabia. This is it.
Al Hilal
Same
or
thing.
something like that.
That's the same thing. 1 minute you play Juventus, it's 5-1, you're brilliant. I know he plays, all these guys play, they move the ball well. The next game, you go back to this stupid 3-2-5 against the transition team, leaving big gaps behind, and we lose the game. Same thing. Right? Same thing. I don't know, man. I scratch my head and it just boggles my mind. I
It's
just cannot
disappointing,
understand it.
Carl. It's disappointing. And do you know the thing is,
Oh boy,
I'm
yeah.
going to-
Okay, this is turning into a
I'm-
chaos panel.
yeah, I'm
Welcome
going
back,
to,
everyone.
I'm going to address people who just, I think when they're talking, they just talk for the sake of not even understanding what you're saying. There's a lot of people saying, "Oh, you just hate Pep, whatever this." No, it's not that. And the fun thing is, Pep Guardiola is an employee to Manchester, by the way. Pep Guardiola gets about 30 million a year. Um, you people want me to sit there and sympathize with him when he's making the same mistakes. I already pointed out to many people. Chelsea final. Why are you dropping a DM? Even Thomas Chuko said we were laughing. And when they showed me the lineup, I thought they were throwing or they were just making a joke. And then Monaco, he made changes. He says he wanted to go all out. And then Monaco booted us out on goal scored. Leon, he had Otamendi on the bench and John Stones, and he put Eric Garcia, 18 years old.
It's
because
crazy.
Eric Garcia was his love child or something. And then he put Fernandinho, who was in 30s, and played three at the back. First time three at the back against Lyon. And we were favorites to win that COVID Champions League because a lot of teams were out. City were the only big team and a few teams in there. Let's take it to Spurs. First leg, he puts KDB on the bench. And KDB was fit. He just puts KDB on the bench. And he says he wanted to keep him for the second leg at home. And then yesterday, he does it again. The funny thing is, people say, oh, he's done the mistakes, but he can collect things. Somebody educated me, said Pep Guardiola will look like an idiot over and over in the Champions League because the genius stuff doesn't work in the Champions League because you've got one chance.
The room for
While
error,
people-
the room for
Yes,
error, Patrick, is
it's
very,
tiny.
very slim.
But
Very
in the
tiny.
league, in the league he can mess up multiple times, but he will fix it with few points. And what's the funny thing is, every time he gets points or goes on a run, it's when he keeps it simple. The first UCL he won, he kept it simple. I don't get why people don't understand that when we question him, City could have had more than one UCL. City deserve more than one UCL. Yes, it sounds like entitlement, but we do deserve it. Yesterday broke a lot of people. I've never seen the fan base this broken. I think everybody was shocked. Even fans from other clubs were writing to me. They're like, "Are you guys joking? What's this? Are you guys like? Is this a joke?" Like Madrid players were laughing. Mbappe was laughing. Jude was laughing.
You know what the funny thing is, Patrick?
Go ahead, Adam.
In the preview, I said it to Kels and Sam, the Madrid fan. I said to Sam was saying, City's gonna beat him. I said to him, Sam, yeah, okay, we might, but the only way I can see it is Pep. Pep is his own problem, like what Carl said. And I said, the only way I can see that, and I said it to Kels. I said, I genuinely either see it being a draw, or somehow Pep will do something and fuck it up. Yeah, I got it right. He fucked it up, like as usual.
It's frustrating because I think everyone's talking about these certain, like, we have to sign certain players over the summer. I feel like the profiles people keep bringing up, we already have on the team. Pep just refused to play them. Like, we know we need a physical midfielder. We have one. His name's Nico Gonzalez. Pep refuses to play him with Rodri. I'm at, they said we need a creator. We have one. His name's Ryan Turkey. He's on the bench all the time. Like, I'm getting frustrated with it. Like we have a lot of these players. Pep is just not playing them. Like, I think our press is lacking in the attack. And who's our best presser? It's Omar Marmoush. He can't start these games. Like, and our press looks weak without him. So, like, the ingredients are there. He's just not utilizing them right now. He's leaving the good ingredients on the shelf, and that's why the dish doesn't taste good.
Yeah, but Kels, before we pass it to Prophet, I know we are all pointing at Haaland, but before Haaland, Pep was fucking up. Before Haaland, he was still doing this madness. He was benching Aguero in big games. Remember? He used to bench Aguero in a big game. And I say, oh yeah, it was tactical decision. Like, he's done this foolishness so many times. And people, I get it, loyalty. We're all loyal and thankful. But blind loyalty is what I don't understand. Like, you can't just be shaking your bum for Pep Guardiola for no reason, just for the sake of it. And we give you a point. Your comeback is, you're plastic. Come back with something more sensible. And a Prophet, have you recovered from Tuesday or Wednesday?
I was never in any problems. Nothing happened in the Champions League match that we were not what you call it now. We weren't surprised. What happened? Right? What happened Wednesday that we were surprised about? He went in, he didn't keep it simple, and he screwed the tie. No matter how bad Real Madrid is, why would you want to play them with two midfielders? Matter of fact, forget about Real Madrid. No team in La Liga goes up against Real Madrid, bad form or not, with just two midfielders. What is the point of that? What he's trying to tell us is that he saw that Madrid was weak and he is going to bomb rush them. This is not Burnley. And matter of fact, we had three midfielders versus Nottingham Forest, and we couldn't get the job done. So we're going to go to the Bernabeu with less midfielders to get the job done. It doesn't make any sense, and you have fans trying to make sense of the madness that he did Wednesday. There's nothing to analyze. It was just pure, unadulterated. You know what? I'm not going to curse. It's pure madness. That's all that happened. It made no sense. Yeah, we played the game that we should have played against Real Madrid. We did that against Newcastle. We had pace, we had power, we had quickness of passing. It's 1-2-1 move, 1-2-1 move. Yesterday, it's not yesterday. Wednesday, it's not even more about the loss. It's how we lost. We looked clueless, toothless. We kept doing the same thing over and over. When Real Madrid dropped deep, pass it sideways, pass it backwards, slow. What is killing Manchester City now is sentiment. Yeah? Sentiment to certain players and sentiment to a manager because he did something in the past. He brought us glory. What does history tell us? At some point in time...
He brought us the treble.
Yeah, how dare you? You're being toxic and negative.
They're idiots, and any day I can argue with any of them because they're nothing but pure idiots. Oh, he gave me the best moments of my life, so we're going to allow him to become Arsene Wenger at the club. The reason why Arsenal has not won anything for 22 years is that they were poisoned by Wenger, saying the same nonsense. Oh, he went unbeaten. Who's a better coach that we're going to get? When he left Barcelona, did they crumble? And who was the coach that was better than him that took over? Tito. Who knew anything about Tito? After Tito, there was Enrique. What did Enrique win when he came to Barcelona? I don't remember him winning it. He didn't know. Before Barcelona, he won nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, at Barcelona, he was in trouble.
Yeah, afterwards. But when he came into the job, what did he win? What was his CV at Barcelona to get the job? He left Bayern Munich. Who was the better coach that came after him? Ancelotti is better than Pep. Was Hansi Flick the cone man for Germany? His team came in and won a sextuple. Is Hansi Flick better than Pep Guardiola? We have a fan base that is doom mongering, trying to hold on to a dead manager. Pep is dead. There's nothing new and no amount of money that is going to be spent is going to make any difference because there are no new ideas and it's the same foolishness over and over and over. And to make it worse, he has fixed the problem.
I have a question for you because remember in like December or November we were playing that fast transition style ball. Do you credit that to Pep Guardiola or do you think that's more Pep Linder's influence? And does that represent like a style of change that benefited our players and also was something new tactically? What are your comments on? Because we did have success on that. I think we went 8 wins in a row in all comps.
He was desperate. He had no choice.
We did
quick transition, quick passes, direct football. Holland was scoring.
But we have been
goals.
playing quick passes.
Foden were feeding off they were energized and playing well. Nico G was the one in the middle. Doku was getting a bunch of that's when Doku had his best form of the season. So I'm kind of wondering if there's maybe that gives us hope that there can be change, but if he refuses to not play in a style that was proven to work earlier this season.
But Kels, we already have the answer to that question. It is not, Pep Guardiola can play 1-touch, 2-touch football, and that has nothing to do with Pep Linders. We have seen it with the Centurion. We in transition with Sane and Sterling and KDB, and even with David Silva on the side. 1-touch, 2-touch. Once you gave us a chance to transition, we are going to kill you. So what we are doing or what we did up to December, we have seen it from Pep before. The point is simply this. After winning the treble, he has gone onto easy street. He does not want to play that way. Whether it is effective, whether it serves the club well, the point is it boils down to Pep. He does not want to do that because in his mind, some way, somehow, it's beneath him. He wants to have 1,000 passes, 1 million passes sideways and backwards to quote unquote connect the play while the opposition sits back and just watches us because we're easy to play against. We knew that he was going to change it. I told you guys, if he finds a formula, sooner or later he's going to change it because he wants to prove that the pass is going to work, and that is dead. And he has sacrificed the trophies this season because what? Rodri is back. And we were told that when Rodri is back, we are going to just shoot to the stars. Rodri is back. Bernardo has gone into midfield. Slow, old, sideways and backwards. So yes, Pep can play it, but can he play that style consistently? He does not want to do it. And how do we know that? The proof is on the pitch. You don't have to be a CIA agent to pick out certain patterns. He doesn't want to do it. Club World Cup, we play Juventus. Brilliant. The Juventus game looked like the Newcastle game that we played the weekend before. It was beautiful. We're attacking not on one side of the pitch. We're attacking from the left, from the right, and through the midfield. And just like Al Hilal, what did he do? Went in, inverted fullbacks, no overlap, Doku stuck out on the wing, as usual, passing sideways and backwards, going nowhere. So in the space of 2 games, he has moved from what works to some madness. And I can guarantee the fan base this. If Bernardo and Rodri and Diaz start most of the game for the rest of this season, we're winning nothing. Gehi, Kusanov is the partnership. It is balanced.
Yep.
And how do we know it's balanced? We can see it on the pitch. It is plain and simple. Anything you want to see if it works, you don't have to go into any bar graph, any pie chart. You don't have to consult NASA. All you have to do is open your goddamn eyes and watch without the blue tint on the screen, and you'll see if something works or not. Kusanov, Gehi, Nouri, Nunes, that is the back 4. Simple. Nico O'Reilly, Nico G, and maybe we throw in Turkey, maybe Foden and maybe Bernard and Rodri come on as subs further down the line in the game. It is simple. Start your best 11, work your way from there. It is plain and simple, but guess what? The manager is a genius. The fan base and Khaldun and everybody is in his palms. So any old rubbish he does is going to be back to the hill. What am I hearing? Just back the team. What am I backing? I'm not a cheerleader. I'm not going to back bullshit because it doesn't make any sense. We can all see that it does not make any sense, and he's going to ruin a season just because he sleeps better at night playing Rodri, Bernardo, and Diaz. That this moment in time, the team has evolved beyond those players. We don't have to like it. Bernardo's David Silva had to leave. The team went beyond David Silva, it went beyond Yaya Toure, went beyond Vincent Kompany. That's what happens in football. Things move. Time moves. Move with it. We're holding on to Pep Guardiola. He's not staying another 4 years. He can't sustain it. And I guarantee you, if he stays for a final season, it's going to get very toxic. He's going to get hounded out of the club. Because believe you me, whenever by Anderson, Tonali, Wharton, and Rodri and friends stay, they are not going to get any games because he's going to resort to what he always does. I trust these guys. Doesn't matter how they're playing, I am still going to use. So it's just a waste of time. One big waste of time. I'm just curious to hear what the cult members are going to say at the end of the season. We may end up with note.
Prophet, you don't have to worry about it because the Spanish media says that Rodri's going to Real Madrid this summer, so you don't have to worry about it. Spanish media.
Madrid are not taking him. Madrid are not taking him.
I know they'll have seen that performance and be like, "Nah, we're not spending any money on that."
No. Do you know the thing is? Do you remember when I told you, Kels?
Fabrizio said he misses home and he wants to go back to Spain. So
yeah,
a lot of media
Kels,
noise saying he's leaving the club this summer.
Kels,
which will break my heart.
Show?
I still support Rodri. Pep is just completely misusing him.
Yeah, but do you remember the show, Kels, when you were when I gave you a hint, I was like, people are gonna ask for Nico Gonzalez, and Nico Gonzalez is gonna play more games than Rodri. You know why I saw that? It's the age. I looked at the age. I looked at what he was doing. Like, he's not a bad defensive midfielder. Right now, he's just above average. It's just that he was too incredible. But the thing is, Let's talk about trophies. So I'll start with Kels, then we'll go to Carl, and then Adam. What are the hopes now of the trophies? Is it the Carabao Cup?
Well, here's the thing,
Yeah,
right?
I'm. Go ahead,
If
Carl.
he plays, if he removes his favoritism cap, and he plays the players who are in form, we win things. If he plays Savinho and Erling Haaland all the time, and Diaz and doesn't play Nunez and plays them out of position, you're not winning anything. We've seen it last season. We've seen it in many games where those guys have played. It's not it's simple.
Yeah, I'm
The
actually very
Newcastle
nervous about
game,
this
the,
cup
the the
now.
Newcastle. Listen, I tweeted, I in our WhatsApp group, I said I got no hope for Newcastle because after watching Forest, I was concerned that these guys are just he's going to overthink it. For some reason, he surprised everybody. Mamouche was sharp. Cherky was incredible. Cherky didn't start. Mamouche was sharp. Semenya was good. They all looked really. Gonzalez
G
was
was
incredible,
outstanding in that game.
outstanding. And then you drop him from Madrid.
The
Why?
two Nicos together worked very well because they're both very young and they have legs. What's making me nervous is that Pep. You know what Pep is kind of doing right now is he's getting back. Remember what that formation he played in the FA Cup final last season where he had a pivot of Kevin De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva. I'm dead worried that he's going to do something like that in the Carabao Cup, and Arsenal will destroy it.
Listen.
Because they'll play it simple. They'll probably come in low block. I think Arteta's scared, so he's going to default back to his let's
even bubble up. I mean, let's go 10,000.
Play for corners and stuff like that.
Forget about the tactics and forget about them, right? Let's go 20,000 foot view, right? You have these resources, all these players, who and you play them. You don't play Nunez, who's been playing almost every game at right back, who's mastered it well, who's learned through that. Okay, he has his bozo moments once in a while.
Remember he dropped him in that cup final for Akanji, who had just come back from surgery?
It's
stupid.
It's I don't know. It's insane. Think about that. So where does Nunez go? Where does he go?
If I was Nunez right now, my confidence would be shot because all he does is
let me ask this question, Kel.
I've been wrong about.
Did Nunez play?
He's gotten better, and he gets dropped in a big game. I don't get it.
Wasn't Nunez in the game where we won 2-1, the first game a couple of months ago? Okay.
He did.
So he was in the
game. Vinny in that game.
He was in that game. He showed well. He played well. And then you drop him because you want to play Diaz in the middle. And you need someone to cover Vini's pace, so you play Kusanova right. So you're adapting to the team's strengths instead of your strengths. That's what happened.
Yeah.
So what happened
to be Husanov and Gehi as defense, or you could have dropped Gehi and just said, "Sorry, Gehi, you're not playing this game," and play Diaz, and if you're so desperate for Diaz, that doesn't mean you drop Nunez. That means you drop Gehi and you play Diaz and Husanov together.
Let me tell you what. Let me tell you what. So that's the symptom of a guy who doesn't have confidence in himself, or his tactics, or in his team. I'm telling you. When you make those changes like that, it tells me you're not sure of the players you have or rely on them. So I have to adapt to the people I know who can try and get it done. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. Because I mean, listen, I ain't no Pep Guardiola, right? But I've learned so much from him, from others, right? I know my first 11. Now I know it, and I know it, and I know it, and I know it. When it's time, everybody knows it. Here's the first 11. We go and we adapt and change based on what we need. We know who the first 11 is. We know what our 11 is. The only question becomes Haaland or Mamouche. Okay. Now I get it. Haaland does what he can do, so I can accept that. Fine. Okay. Cool. All right. Maybe give him 60 minutes. Bring on Mamouche to help the pressing. But when you start to play Diaz and you move out Kusanov and you take out Nunez, you know Orion in the middle, and there's no Shirky, and you play Savinho, nah, bro. You ain't serious. You don't know. You don't know.
Also, can I ask you a question? Do you think that maybe Haaland and Semenya are kind of a similar profile? Because they're not very technical.
No, they're not. They're completely different.
Oh, you found my tweet.
No, Semenya can press. Haaland can't press.
Okay.
Can't press.
Because I think I'm going to give Semenyo some grace because Semenyo did just show up, so I'm not going to blame him right away. But I do think that I think that Pep
Antoine
really asked him to
Semenyo has scored
do
more
something he
goals in the
couldn't
past
do.
4 months. Antoine Semenyo has scored more goals in the past 4 months than Erling Haaland has.
Yeah,
Fact.
He's also
but Carl,
scored
I
more
think,
in the past
but
month than our wingers have
yeah,
combined all season.
yeah, but Carl, I think she's trying to say that they're both finishers, right? But why play two finishers? What was the point? And play one
Two
as a number 10.
finishers and no creators to give them chances. So
I
Semenyo
mean,
is not going to create in that scenario.
And
you
then,
put him in a creation role, and he's not going to do it.
Do you want to read
can't.
what he said? He's very stubborn. Do you want to read what he said? Look
What
at
did
how
he say?
stubborn he is.
All right, he did. Okay, wait, I'll pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up. That's you took it from my Twitter. I tweeted the French tweet. Hang on, let me read it. I'll read it out loud. Okay, Guardiola defends his disastrous lineup against Madrid. How many times has Nico O'Reilly played left back this season? How many times? Only real adjustment was starting Husanov to handle Vinicius movements in the area. For the rest, the idea was clear. Use the wingers to stretch the defense and players in the half space to move forward in the box. Some players were coming back from injury, but they've been good recently. Savinho and Doku. Oof. With the experience of oh God, here we go. Oh geez, the experience of Bernardo and Rodri and the energy of the players. There was no energy in the players. I don't know where this is coming from. Capable of attacking the space. The plan was to control the game and the second balls. Rotation is part of my management. I've already done it at Newcastle with 9 changes. The goal was simply to set up a balanced structure of fast players behind and experienced ones in the middle. Oh, yikes!
So Kelly, let me just retort
So
back
two
to you.
wingers who don't score goals is your attack. That's not.
Well, hold on a second. Let's build on what you just said. Did it work?
No,
Did it work?
It worked for 10
Hold on.
minutes.
Let's answer the question. Let's answer the question. Did it work?
No.
So you failed.
I'd say
So you're
in the first 10 minutes,
again.
we cooked for 10 minutes. For 10 minutes, we cooked.
It didn't
and then
work.
all they did was put
Kelly,
an extra defender on Doku, and the whole thing fell apart.
That's all cap, right? And I'm not you, right? But he's capping. Okay? It did not work. It didn't work. So your tactics failed. Your strategy failed. Admit it. I got it wrong. Period. Stop gaslighting the fan base. We all know, man. You're gaslighting the fan base.
He can't apologize. He never apologizes. Never.
It didn't work. Just say,
He needs
you know
to
what?
apologize to those players he benched to deserve.
He doesn't need to apologize. Listen, he doesn't need to
apologize
apologize. Listen, he doesn't need to apologize to anybody. Just do the right thing, bruh. And stop playing favorites. Savinho has no business playing against Madrid when Shirky was a star in the last game. None. I'm sorry. I can excuse Diaz. Can excuse Kusanov for Nunes, right? But Shirky, when Shirky came on, Shirky did more in 5 minutes than Savinho's done in 6 months.
And
Because you can't control
I'm
it.
just gonna keep harping it. Nico G should have been. Nico G needs to be in the middle. He needs to partner with Rodri. Rodri abandons his spot anyway. He moves forward.
You don't need Kelly. You don't need Nico G with Rodri. You don't need that. You don't need it. You can do Nico G or Rodri. No, it's not even a dream. You can use Nico G or Rodri and make sure you have O'Reilly and Shirky. That's what you need. Energy, creativity, and balance. That's it.
Yeah, Turkey and Nico G were playing last time we beat Real Madrid. Just to confirm.
Yeah. So listen, yeah, it's a head scratcher. And the fact that you took off Savina at halftime tells you everything. That everything was wrong. You know it was wrong. We all know it was wrong.
Yeah, it's just pointless when you don't play the fullbacks. It's just pointless to have the wingers. You can't build with the wingers with no fullbacks. You just can't do it. Because they're just not good enough. They both need the help. Like we don't have a winger who can just do it by himself because they're too young and inexperienced. They're just not good enough, and they both need overlapping fullbacks, and they didn't have it. So they both, Doku just got marked out of the game completely. And Savinho, like I said, they just ignored him. He was out on the touchline by himself. No defender anywhere close to him because they knew he wasn't going to get the ball. And they're just like, yeah, we don't care.
Kels, we're killing our wingers. It doesn't make any sense. The best winger on the planet are the two best wingers, Olise and Yamal. They get assistance from their fullbacks, and they're the best of the best. So why are we leaving Doku and Savio because they say you want two natural wingers? Where is the assistance? Who is coming to 1v3 all game? Who is coming to free up the space or to go into the space that these Real Madrid players are vacating? It doesn't make any sense. It is a typical, if things are not working, give it to KDB and spam it. KDB is gone, so now give it to Doku and spam. Doku and Inshallah. That's all he has been playing. How can you play Savio and Doku and there's no Nouri and Nunes? The fact that Nouri and Nunes is not starting, that means you have already negated whatever Savio and Doku can do. It is just foolish. It makes no sense whatsoever. The fullback stuck inverting again. Yeah, into midfield. What is this? Tenet FC. Everything is inverted. Inverted this, inverted that, inverted this, inverted that. Foolishness. Pure foolishness. If I have my natural wingers, what are my fullbacks doing? What is my midfielder doing to free up space? Nothing. This is a carbon copy of what Real Madrid has done to us defensively all the time. Just drop back into shape, watch us go side to side, backwards, and then boom, pick off the ball, they shoot up the pitch. Simple. Ancelotti used it. All Arbeloa did was just to go watch a few tapes with Ancelotti and then apply it, and that was that. Simple.
What was that defending when Vinicius was 1v1? Why are we so cocky? Why do we have only one person sitting back? I don't get it.
I know that a lot of people that are some of our friends would say, well, we are criticizing the manager who's giving us everything. The moment you cannot question things, you lose any sense of intelligence, judgment, engagement. The ability to question and ask questions was because there's a watermark that's been set. That's a fact. It's just the truth, right? Why are we playing Savinho instead of Shirky? Why? Based on what? One game against Newcastle?
Yeah.
That's what he said, right?
Apparently.
How does that? I mean, seriously. So Shirky, who's done everything for you up until has more goals in 6 months or 8 months than Savinho's had in 2 years, and you drop him.
I'm sorry. Even as bad as Foden has been, Foden has actually done more than you. More than Savinho. This guy, I'm telling you, he's the favorite.
Still our second highest scorer in the Premier League.
That's what I'm saying.
He hasn't scored a goal in like 4 months.
The sin that Turkey has committed was the Rabona pass to Foden to score. So that was too much free-spirited. So what he's trying to do now is turn Turkey into a robot. So until Turkey becomes a robot, he's going to be on the bench and he's going to he's going to play everybody in number 10 and bench Turkey in any game of any note just to try and quote-unquote teach him a lesson. And if I were Turkey, I just keep doing what I'm doing. Other big clubs are seeing what I'm doing. I can move on from Manchester City because us holding on to holding Pep at godlike level. Is anybody denying that Pep is a great manager, one of the greatest of this generation? Absolutely not. But like with every other manager, there comes a time, and how do we know that it is time? All we have to do is look on the pitch and look at the tactics. Since the treble, it is getting progressively worse and worse and worse. And we're spending more and more and more. So we need to spend another $500 million now to beat Nottingham Forest at home. And I can guarantee you, if we reverse the players and give Nottingham Forest those players, we'd have lost and lost easily. It is just simple. The manager is washed. I've told you guys that from last season. The manager is washed. You guys asked me, so who should we buy this summer? Makes no difference if the manager is going to keep doing the same foolishness. And lo and behold, here we are.
Who's better than Pep? Who are you going to bring in?
And who was better than Pep when he left Barcelona?
Well, let me answer that question. So we know he's great, right? But didn't Arbeloa just beat him?
Oh God, bring him in.
Do you know?
No, Arvin
Bring in
didn't beat
that
him.
U18 manager from Chelsea.
And again, I'm not saying Kelly. I'm not saying
saying.
go high or below. I'm just saying that argument about who's better than Pep is bullshit because anybody can beat anybody if you get it wrong.
Yeah,
Let's be
look
clear.
at the Chelsea manager. Look at the Chelsea interim manager. Drew against Pep.
That Brighton
But that's
guy,
just-
that Brighton are terrible this season. They're like 14th place. Pep has never beat that manager in 2 seasons. Persler.
Carrick.
Who
He
is
lost
that guy? I don't even know.
He lost to Michael
All
Carrick.
I know is that I don't have a name because I'm not.
Look, you know it's
But
simple.
we have a lot of players who suit counterattacking transition
But
football.
look
That's your first start looking at somebody who,
No,
who
Patrick
excels in that.
and Prophet. Look at
Steve,
Mourinho.
help me
Mourinho.
out. He's a
But look at
transition
this. Look,
manager.
Mourinho is lauded of being arguably one of the best managers in football history. But look, inevitably time caught up with him. It's the same way with Pep. You can't run away from the truth. Time will catch up with you. Like look at Mourinho. Time caught up with him, and now he's managing in what? In the Portuguese league. It caught up with him. Inevitably, time is gonna. You could be the greatest manager in world football, but time will catch up with you. But some people
Even
are
in
just
even in boxing.
some
it
people.
happens in boxing.
Yeah, like look at Anthony Joshua. Like Anthony Joshua was winning belts left, right, and center. All of this, and guess what? He got beaten by a fat American / Mexican. So make that make sense. So your time, there's always a time where your time will be finished. But like what Prophet said, some people are just deluded and blind. They have blinds and they just look at it one way. Oh, if you criticize the manager or if you criticize certain players, or you don't like the club, or you're not allowed to criticize the players.
Yeah,
If you don't
no,
like me
no,
criticize, if you
no.
don't like me criticize, listen. Like the simplest way, if you don't like me criticizing the player or the manager, unfollow me or block me. You don't have
This
to
is
hear
what
the
I
shit that's it.
this is what I told people. I was like, why you make it like now? Apparently, Nigerians and Africans can't have
Oh,
a
yeah.
say for Man City and international fans also. So they're saying international fans and everybody. But somebody pointed out and said, but your manager is not from Manchester. These players you have are not from Manchester. Last time I checked, Doku is from Ghana, plays for Belgium. Last time I checked, Savinho is from Brazil. Last time
Listen,
I
the
checked,
only two players. Listen,
like singling out a certain fan
Listen,
base from
the
what
only
country
two
they're from
people, the
is
only two players
xenophobic
from
and there's no place
listen,
for it.
the only two players from Manchester are O'Reilly and Foden. So what the fuck are these dumbasses local fans talking about? And anyway, this notion of this is why I argue with people when they say it. There's a dumbass Real Madrid fan that I had an argument with, and you probably know who I'm talking about, yeah. In fact, I'll just fucking say his name. He's a retard. He's gritty, yeah. He's a dumbass. You're talking about, it makes you less of a fan if you don't go to games. Listen, if a guy doesn't go to a game, you don't know what that fucking person's financial situation is. You think someone from a different country is gonna have the ability to get a fucking visa? In some of these countries, you need to get a visa to come in, and it by itself, it's a nightmare to get. So fucking the notion of just because you're from a certain country makes you less of a fan than me that goes week in week out. Fuck out of here, man. I'm sorry for the language, but whoever says that, you're a fucking dumbass. You're a genuine dumbass, and you need to look at yourself and question yourself if you're actually saying that because someone's in a different country from you, and yet you have the privilege of going to a game week in week out, but yet they need to go through hoops to just get to watch one game, and if they have the ability to even fucking watch the game, but yet you're there questioning them, you're because you're in Nigeria, you're in this country. Shut the hell up, man.
It's quite funny.
That's basically
you know what I
calling
did?
someone poor, and that's
I know. You know what I did? I gave them a warning. I was like, because I know
what up,
them.
Prime?
I can talk to this Patrick if you want to.
Yeah, let's let Carl speak on this because he's actually Nigerian. So.
Listen, all I can tell you is that
Yeah.
all I can tell you is that you don't want the smoke from the Nigerian Twitter base, because you have to understand these guys grew up with a big mouth and they would take you down with words that you can't hold. And you start crying racism or discrimination, or you start crying to your mom. If they start with you, they won't stop. So be careful what you wish for, because these guys don't play, man. They have a basket of words that they can use if you do so. And just to make the point, right, is listen, This is a global sport. 99.9% of your team, first team, are not from Manchester. Probably only one, maybe two kids. Okay?
Yeah, Foden O'Reilly. Enrico Lewis, your favorite.
Right. Which, yeah, and that's another discussion another day. But they're not from there. Okay? It's the reason why the Premier League as a whole, most of the players, top players in Premier League, are not from the island. They're from Europe or from somewhere else, Africa, or right. That's where they're from,
South
or Brazil,
America.
or South America. That's the truth. If you don't understand that, then go back to 1980 with the FA and go enjoy yourself there. The game has changed. Yeah, am I saying that we shouldn't enjoy the local culture? Of course you should, but don't discriminate because somebody's watching a TV with others from 6,000 miles away and they support and love the club that you happen to love. It just makes no sense. They wake up at 2 a.m. in the morning to watch a game. Your ass is asleep.
Yeah. And
Right?
we pay thousands of dollars to come over because we have to pay
Yeah.
for flights, hotels. The game tickets are very expensive for tourists. Remember, they're trying to take our tourist money, so they jack up the ticket prices for us. So we don't get those season ticket prices that locals do. And we have to take time. Flying halfway around the world takes a lot out of our bodies too. So, and waking up at 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. to watch games, that takes a lot out of us as well. So. I find some of these comments to be a bit arrogant. I know that the person who made those comments does not represent the entire fan base.
Girls,
There are many locals who welcome the tourists and stuff like that.
Girls.
So I understand that, but
Girls,
I find it very
I find it very insulting, yeah, because I find it very insulting. Me and Carl are countrymen, and Carl will tell you from there to get to the west, yeah, you're probably looking close to what almost close to $2,000 if that's just the plane ticket. Yeah, and some people they can't. Some people they cannot. They will be lucky if they even get $1,000, and then for you to sit there on social media and question someone's support for the club. Honestly speaking, look hard at yourself.
The problem, Adam, is so the real root problem is the fact that people cannot understand that you can love something and support something and still question stupid decisions. People just can't wrap their heads around that. To them, when you criticize a bad action or bad tactics, you hate the club and you hate. No. You can love something, but still say, what the hell was that about? Are you telling me that in a relationship, male and female, or whatever you prefer, if your partner does something wrong, you have no right to say, what the hell was that about? Right? The other day, somebody in my family, for example, reversed into my garage because they were on the phone. Right? I still love them, but like, what are you doing? You just cost me $1,500 because you just broke my garage door because you're not paying attention. You can hurt yourself. I'm angry. I'm disappointed. I still criticize, but I still love them. You can do both. You can't so because we have this manager and he's giving us all these titles, we can never ever say, bruh, what the hell was that about? Why are you doing this? That's the issue at hand. If all the Nigerian guys out there were saying, hey, it's okay, no matter what he does, he's fine, he's our guy, yada, yada, they won't say a word. But the minute you say poor performance that we all saw, right, which was crazy lineups, right, against Madrid, against Lyon, against Chelsea, against Liverpool, against United, you're like, come on, man.
The naivety against Bodo Glint. A 217? What was that? Like,
she's like, Kels, like, look at that girl. Look at that girl, that poor girl from Nigeria. What's her name? I forgot her name. Patrick probably knows who I'm talking about, and Carl as well, yeah. Look at that on a daily basis. Look at the amount of abuse. Okay, yes, she may have. Look at the amount. Okay, she might have a different opinion. Look, like, that's the joy of football. We all have different opinions. Patrick has different opinions from me, and look, at times I don't agree with them. But
yeah, but what if she says? Yeah, but what if she says happens? What if she says that's happened?
No, so, that's what I said to you. But that's what I say. That's funny thing. Everything that she has said has come to fruition, but yet people will still abuse her in every post that she does. And listen, I gotta give her and that's why I say I gotta give her big respect, because if it's me, yeah, she doesn't react to them. But if it's me, a lot of these people will probably end up blocking me or outgoing person, and then let's see what they will say.
Nah,
She
they
she
do. But
she's dealt with it perfectly. But me being the person that I am, I would have put every one of them in their place.
I know, and you know what? It's not over yet. Anyway, we'll see. Anyway, going to the table. Moving away from Madrid and Pep's stupidity. And I still want him
Cleanse
gone.
ourselves of it.
I've said it on camera. I want him gone. I don't care. So looking at the table, our next game is West Ham. Girls, do you care?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, we're still going to be here. We're doing a watch along on this channel. Don't worry. I did a preview stream with a West Ham fan yesterday. Everybody go check out the replay on that one. And the West Ham fan seems to think that he seems to be more positive on the team than we are. He doesn't think he thinks that City will win. He is specifically scared of Holland because Holland always scores against his team. So yeah, I think if Pep just keeps it simple, I think we'll just go back to what was working. Nunes, Aït-Nouri, Nico O'Reilly in the middle. And if Nico O'Reilly has to play left back, then you have to put Nico G in the middle. That's basically what you have to do. Yeah, like I said, just go back to what's been working, no experiments, and just go win the game. People are going to think that I'm crazy for saying this, but Everton at the Emirates is not a good matchup for Arsenal. Everton are better away from home. They're not as good at their stadium. They play better on the road. Steve can attest to that because Steve saw them come into Newcastle and absolutely embarrass them.
Kelly, don't raise your hopes up. Everton will crash at the Emirates.
Everton are very capable of low blocking the absolute daylights out of Arteta's.
They're only gonna take a corner. They're gonna score a goal, and that's it. They'll collapse. I'm just telling you what's gonna happen.
This is one game I have a feeling Arsenal could drop points. So we need to
They're
be
not,
ready.
They're not gonna drop points, Kelly. They're not gonna drop points. The game
I
that
have no faith in them dropping points in another game. This is the kind of matchup they don't like.
So let me help you guys out. Let me help you guys out, right? Listen, they're not gonna drop points. They're not. The opportunity for us to have won the league went up in smoke after the Forest game. I'm telling you right now, it's gone. If we somehow resurrect it back, shame on Arsenal. That's the fact.
Again, I don't rate this Arsenal team. I'm
not saying they're good, Kelly. I'm not saying they're good.
I'm not saying they will, but I think they can.
They're awful, right? But there's a reason why of all the Premier League teams in the Champions League this Wednesday and Tuesday, none of them won one game. None. Not even Arsenal at Leverkusen. Not one. Because we overhyped the Premier League. It's just a fact. That's why you see the inconsistency with the Premier League teams this season in the league. None. So the league went with that Forest win and tie at home, draw at home. It's gone. Forget it. It's gone. Go hope you get the Carabao Cup and hope you get the FA Cup. That's what's left. So, and you know me, I'm normally very had to win Forest at home. You had to win that to put the pressure on them. So when you come to the Etihad and you win that game, you go above them and then pressure goes on them. Once you drop points and they're 7 points ahead, they have room for error. It's over. Psychologically, it's done. And that's, if I'm Arteta, my message to them, Arsenal, is get the 3 points, whatever you can, put the pressure on them time and time and time again. Get to the Etihad, low block it, get a tie, game over. Season's done. If they win the Carabao Cup, good for them. We're in the Champions League. And we have the Premier League. And maybe the FA Cup. That's the psychology.
Well,
and those guys they will fight
Steve
to
watches
make
a lot
sure.
of Everton. He says they're really good at defending set pieces, and he predicts a draw. So.
It is Everton.
Again, I think there is a chance for Everton.
There is no chance,
Everton
Kelly.
to get something.
There's no chance, Kelly. Listen,
you know what?
The referees will make sure that Arsenal win that game. It is in the interest of the Premier League for Arsenal to win the Premier League.
Oh,
yes.
Do you know what's nasty? Do you know what's nasty about this Arsenal team? I have noticed that Kao is right. When it's 0-0, all they do is bring Noni Madueke, who's like Doku, but they program him differently. they tell him to start getting corners. So not in Madueke will go over to the corner line, beat a few people, hit it for a corner. And that's what they're going to do. I think that first game also broke a lot of people. That first game, I don't know why. And you can see the tone. Pep Guardiola's tone has changed. He's no longer talking with chest, saying, "Oh, there's games." No, he changed in the press. Now he's just saying, we'll see against. I don't know. It'll be hard. Kels, I hope you're right, Kels. I'm on the hopium. I hope you're right, but I
It's
don't know.
not,
I think
Patrick.
this
It's
not.
Everton are not getting anything from the Emirates. They're just not.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. And Patrick, you know me. I'm the one who's always like, "Let's go." Like, they ain't.
I just
They,
think
they, they just ain't.
there are certain styles that really Pep
They will find a
Arteta
way.
he doesn't know what to do with, and I think Everton can play that way. I'm not saying they'll get something, but I think there's an opportunity for it. That's all I'm going to say.
They will. Arsenal will find a way to get 3 points. They'll
If I
find a
was
way.
betting money, yeah, I'd probably bet money on that. But
Yeah, when you lose the game, when you draw the game at home to Forest, it's done. You cannot win a title if you cannot beat Forest at home, and all these other guys at home. You just can't.
Well, just remember, we did beat Forest at their ground, and Arsenal got a draw there. So if they're capable of dropping points to Forest, or
but
we
not
can't
with
beat the worst Spurs team that's
but-
ever existed.
but not with
We're one of the
9.
worst. That's our problem.
Not with 9 games to go. You don't drop points with 9 games to go like that. You
just win the game tomorrow. That's all you can really do.
Kels,
Just win, see what happens. Like I said, get these players some experience. Get them in get them, because a lot of them look scared in these big games and because they're just not experienced in it. So the more of these games you play, the more experience they'll gain. So there's still something to gain out of it.
Where did you get this hope for Everton? What happened?
I've just paid attention to their record. They play better away from home, and they struggle at home. And I just think the style they play, David Moyes can just go in there and set up with a low block, which Arsenal struggle to break down, as we've seen. And according to Steve, they're very good at set piece defending, which is Arsenal's strength. So if I'm seeing an Everton team going into their stadium with the tools to negate the two things that Arsenal are good at, then there's a reason for some hope. Maybe it's blind, maybe it's naive, but I've seen Arsenal drop a lot of stinky points to get, like that Forest game away. Like that was a stinky game. They can't handle that low block that they were playing, and they drop points. So it can happen. We saw United go in there and beat them. We've seen teams go in there and like frustrate them. So I think
what is your guarantee?
I think Everton can go in there and frustrate them. Is what I'm trying to say.
What is your guarantee that he doesn't play Savinho, Haaland again? We drop points to West Ham away.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can't guarantee that. I think he'll play Haaland, but I don't think he will. I don't think he'll play Savinho. I think he realized that. I think he'll go back to the fullbacks. I think he'll go back to Nico O'Reilly in the middle. But I'm not sure. Oh boy, Marshad's here. But I just don't know what he'll do.
I love your optimism.
I don't know what he's going to do with the wingers, and that kind of worries me.
I love
if I had to put money on it, I say he's going to bench Savinho and play Semenyo and Doku.
I love your optimism. I'm going to ride on your optimism. I'm going to hang on to your coattails because that's all I have left to ride on. I'm just not optimistic from what I saw. And the reason why is because I'm going back to what I felt in the Club World Cup at Al Ittihad. That was for me. That was like, wow, we have a problem here. We have the players, but we have a problem. And I was hoping that through the months we would fix this and we would get on the roll. And we got on the roll, right? Playing the different way, Riley in the middle, Nunes at right back. We got some big wins. Liverpool away, Real Madrid away, right? United at home, big wins. Arsenal away, almost won that game. And then we revert back to type. So somehow this Jekyll and Hyde, it's almost like on his shoulder, they're kind of like the angel and the demon are speaking. And whatever prevails on that day is kind of what we do. Right? You got to change it. You got to, no, don't change it. You got to change it. No, don't change it. I got to change it because I got to compensate for this because no. And then all of a sudden, and nobody can say, boss, this worked. Why don't we just stick with it?
That is true.
No one can say that.
True. Yeah. On that note, we're gonna have to say goodbye. It was lovely talking to all of you, and hopefully we do another stream. I might open the windows. It's getting a bit hot in here.
Pat's
I might
getting
actually
hot
remove
flashes
this.
over there.
I know. I'm gonna have to cut my hair. I think you guys have no idea. Look at this disaster. So I was cutting my hair. I was cutting my hair.
Hamza and Pat.
I was cutting my hair, and then the clipper turned off and broke. So I had to buy a new clipper. So I bought a new one. So I'm gonna have to finish this.
I can't make this.
Adam's gonna clip that. You better watch out.
Whoever in the comment section, please make
Adam, Steve, you're gonna have to clip that.
Yeah, Pat, we're with you, man. We are with you.
We're with you, Patrick.
We're praying for you. We love you. Keep fighting, brother.
Now I'm here.
We love it. We love your Mickey Mouse voice.
No, it's not great. It's a bad voice. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm pretty sure you're gonna see Kels' face very soon. We might do the reaction. I'm pretty sure if we lose against West Ham, we're going to see more fights. But hopefully we go. I don't know. I think the manager has to leave, and maybe we see somebody better. Because I can tell you this, guys. Maleska doesn't lose that game, or Alonso doesn't lose against Madrid. That's all I can tell you. So maybe that gives a bit of hope.